Who is going to win the Premier League this season? Will it be Man City? Will it be Arsenal? Will it be Liverpool? Will it be Sheffield United? Well, sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, get your pitchforks at the ready, because this guy is going to tell you. Let's get in to the Premier League table title race prediction. Right, boys, we're going to have a quick look at what the Premier League table looks like now. Then we're going to predict all the results. So let's just skip past that. Obviously, I left a tab open from last night when I was having a bit of me time. So, this is what the Premier League table looks like currently. There's currently a game going on now. I'm really sorry about that, but this is the only time I've got to do this video. So, Man City are currently beating Luton 1-0, but I don't feel like... I obviously would have predicted that anyway. They're at home to Luton. They're going to win that game. So, as it stands, we've got Man City top of the table on 73, Arsenal second on 71, Liverpool third on 71, but Arsenal and Liverpool both have a game in hand this weekend. So, we're going to start with the team that's top of the Premier League as it stands, which is Man City right now. We all know, lads, the best way is to start at the top and work our way down. Your dad taught me that one. So, let's go. Right, we're going to ignore the Champions League games, the Cup games, obviously. We're solely focusing on the Premier League here. So, they've got a couple of games in the Cup and stuff coming up, but they've got Brighton away. I feel like City are going to win that. Brighton are one of these teams that people always say how good they are, deservy ball, aren't they so commendable, blah, blah, blah. I do enjoy watching them, don't get me wrong, but they're not that good. It's like shit telly. Like if you watch EastEnders or something, you want something dross to watch, Love Island, yes, it's entertaining, but really, do I rate it that highly? No. Is there stuff that's better? Yes. So they're going to beat Brighton, I think, pretty easily. Then they've got Forest away, which, to be fair, they're fighting for their lives at the minute. If they don't win, they're playing today against Wolves, I think, at home. If they don't get a positive result there, then they're going to be a bit knackered. So it's always a bit of an underestimated thing playing against a team that's fighting for their lives, especially away from home. So with all that said, Man City are going to win that one as well. Then they've got Wolves at home. Wolves, good team. I like Gary O'Neill a lot, but they're not really playing for anything. They're not going to get Europe. They're not going to go down. They're kind of in that never zone when you're playing finish, basically. So they're going to win that. Fulham away, again, another team in the never zone of mid-table that don't really care if they win, lose or draw, because it makes absolutely no shite of difference. So they're going to win that. Now, Spurs away. Spurs away. Spurs have just lost 4-0 to Newcastle today, but Spurs and City, it's always this weird thing. No matter who's managing Spurs, whether it's Mourinho, Conte, Ange now, they always seem to do okay. They always get a positive result. They win more at the Etihad, I feel like, but Spurs away could be a bit of a potential banana skin. So I'm going to go for a draw there. I'm going to go for like a mad 2-2, 3-3 sending off. Spurs playing a fucking high line in City's own penalty area, but I'm going to go for a draw there. Then they've got West Ham at home on the final day, and again, West Ham could be looking forward to a European final. I mean, they've just lost 2-0 to Leverkusen, so that's probably not going to happen. But they could be playing for Europe. They're around 7th, 8th, 9th, around that region with United. Let's forget about it. This video, we are not touching on Man United whatsoever, which is nice for once. So I'm going to back City to beat West Ham. So they've got 6 games left to play. I'm backing them to get 5 wins and 1 draw, which is how many points? 16 points, which would lead them on a grand total of 89 points, which seems low, given what the Premier League's been like the last few years with the Centurions, with City and Liverpool battling it out. 89 points seems pretty low, but will it be enough to win the Premier League title? Stay tuned, because now we're going to predict the arse. We're going to predict the Arsenal. And it is worth saying, by the way, that all of these teams, a lot of stuff plays into this. Like City have just got Haaland back. They've got De Bruyne back as well. But they don't look great. But given that, it's a weird thing with City. That the difference is when you're predicting City and Arsenal and Liverpool is that you've seen City do it so many times. You've seen City look a bit shit, a bit naff, and you think, oh, well, they're not going to win the league. They're going to drop off. They're not going to win the Champions League. Sure, they're not going to win the FA Cup. They're not going to fucking treble. And they do, because they just always shit out results even if they don't look great. You know, they didn't look great against Madrid, but they still got a decent draw, 3-3 away from home against a team that's top of La Liga by a country mile at the minute. Do you know what I mean? They always just seem to get it over the line. And with the likes of Arsenal, we've not seen that, because they were in the title race until those 4 or 5 games last season and crumbled. Liverpool can do it, we've seen it, but again, there's a lot of seasons when they battled with City when they haven't. So that kind of plays into this a little bit. But nevertheless, let's get into the Arse's games. Now, obviously, it's worth noting that they played Bayern Munich, got a 2-2 draw at home, which Arsenal 5 years ago would have been a fucking cracking result. But given how bad Bayern have been this season, Arsenal with a full complementary squad and getting that result is a bit poor. But we don't care about that. We don't care. We care about the Premier League. We don't care about any of this European, EU, Euro bollocks. We're talking about the English shit. So, Arsenal's games, let's go. Now, First thing that strikes me when having a quick glance at these fixtures is that they're much harder than City's. And I think from the little bit I've looked at Liverpool's, much harder than Liverpool's as well, which isn't great. But at the minute, if I had to back a team not based on history, but based on this season, who I'd think would win more games or kind of get over the line, I would go Arsenal. But saying that, my prediction's probably going to be completely different to what's just come out of my mouth. Aston Villa at home tomorrow. Now, Villa are currently 4th because Spurs lost 4-0 to Newcastle. Villa are currently 4th on goals scored. But Villa are going to get Champions League football anyway, because the nearest competition is Newcastle United and Manchester United, and they're way off it. So 5th is going to be enough for Champions League football, but I don't think they're going to be on the beach quite yet. I think Villa are going to give Arsenal a game, but I don't think they've been that good recently. So I'm going to back Arsenal to win that. Then sandwiched in between that, they have got the game against Bayern, and obviously if they win that or lose that, that could impact these massively in both ways, I suppose, because if they lose to Bayern, yes, less games, less to worry about, but then they're going to be a little bit down in the dumps and stuff going away to a decent Wolves side the next game, or they could be winning and then, you know, around when they play Spurs and Bournemouth, they could be impacted by the semi-finals and possibly even the final coming up. Fingers fucking praying to God that doesn't happen, but you never know. So I think they're going to beat Villa. Wolves away is a bit of a sticky one still, but I think they'll beat Wolves away. Chelsea at home. Chelsea have the potential to do something utterly hilarious here. In one of their, if not their worst Premier League season ever, stopping another London rival like they did to Spurs when they were battling with Leicester from winning the Premier League. That would be mental. That'd be nuts. That'd be fucking crazy. But Arsenal are going to beat Chelsea, I think. Chelsea can get the odd fluke result against a team like Man United, but I don't think it's going to happen against Chelsea. Then Spurs have the potential to do something hilarious as well. But I'm going to be honest, I'm going to back Arsenal in that as well. I feel like Spurs, at that point of the season, with 2 or 3 to go, are going to be nailed on for top 4, top 5 anyway. Aren't going to be playing for that much. They're brittle. They play a really high line that Arsenal could exploit with the likes of Martinelli, Saka, Trossard, stuff like that. So I think Arsenal are going to win that one. Even though Spurs did do it good for counting themselves in the earlier North London derby this season, I feel like Arsenal are the better team. Bournemouth at home, again, this is going to be another team in the never zone that aren't really playing for anything. They'll be safe by then. A decent side that'll probably slap United 3-0 at home today, but I'm still going to back Arsenal to win that. And then coming to that one, United at home to Arsenal. Again, we have the potential to do something fucking brilliant and just derail another rival's team's title chances. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to, because at this point in the season, us beating or drawing against them at Old Trafford could mean that we stop them winning the league and hand it to City or Liverpool. So I'm not really quite sure what I want to happen, but I'm going to back United to beat them there. I feel like I can just feel it. And then Everton at home on the last final day. Again, they're playing teams that have got stuff to play for here now. Like Everton are going to be in and around the drop zone. They might be safe by then. They could be in the relegation zone by then. Who knows? This is a beauty of doing predictions. I have absolutely no idea what I'm saying. And neither do you watching this either. But I'm going to back Arsenal to beat Everton on the final day. So out of Arsenal's how many games to go? Out of Arsenal's 7 games to go, I'm predicting them a win 6 and draw 1, which gives them 19 points. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 6 times 3 is 8, plus 1 is 19. So we're not going to tell you how that leaves the table. If you're a bit of a mathematician, you can add it up and go along and ruin the video for yourself, but I'm not going to do that. So that's going to give them 18 points. Now let's get on to Liverpool, and I'm going to try my best not to be biased here, because if they win this league, my life's not going to be worth living for the next few months. Probably years. Right, Liverpool. And the first thing that strikes me with this, unlike Arsenal's games, is this seems a lot fucking easier, lads. This seems a lot easier. They got Fulham, they got Everton. I mean, they've got Spurs, they've got Villa in there, but across the board it does look a little bit easier. So we're going to obviously start with the Crystal Palace game at home. We could have another Istanbul situation, but with how they've been playing this season, I think Liverpool are going to win that easily. Liverpool, again, at the time of recording, coming off the back of that 3-0 home loss to Atalanta when they looked absolutely terrible. They looked god-awful. So it's quite funny, isn't it, that 3 or 4 weeks ago, they were looking at a quad, like it was a B-Tech quadruple. It was never the quadruple because it wasn't the Champions League. But they were looking like they could win the FA Cup, win the league, the Europa League, and have already obviously won the Caraboobies Cup. So that looked like a thing, but now they've fucking fallen off a cliff. So they're going to beat Crystal Palace at home. We're going to ignore the Atalanta result because I feel like they're going to go out. I can't see them overturning that deficit. Fulham away, another team that aren't really fighting for anything. They're going to win that one, I think. And then Everton away in the Merseyside derby. Everton again, down at the bottom, just had another 2 points deduction. They're going to be up for that. They're going to dash the crowd. They're going to be chewing gravel and fucking filling it down with a fucking chaser of Bovril. Could try and upset the party for that. I feel like they're going to get a draw. I feel like the Ev, are going to get a draw at home to Liverpool. Then we've got West Ham away. Again, another potential banana skin. West Ham are decent at home, other than when they're getting slapped by Arsenal. They're quite strong playing the counter-attack. That could hurt Liverpool with how they play, but I'm going to back them to win that one. I'm going to back them to beat Spurs at home as well, but they're going to come a cropper away to Aston Villa. I think the Aston Villa game's going to be tough for them, with Ollie Watkins, Diaby, Bailey, McGinn, all the other man there. Who do I think I am? I think Liverpool are gonna slip up there. I think they're gonna draw to Aston Villa, and then they've got Wolves at home on the final day, and I think that's going to be a pretty easy win again. Wolves. Well, I think pretty sure every team is playing Wolves. Are they? Is every team playing Wolves at some point in the top 3 from now to the end of the season? Wolves have got a massive responsibility here, because they could completely change the trajectory of the title race in 3 separate games till the end of the season. Right, to summarise, we've got them beating Palace, beating Fulham, drawing to the Ev, beating West Ham, beating Spurs, drawing to Aston Villa, and beating Wolves. So that's all the predictions done and dusted. That gives Liverpool 17 points from the final 7 games, and it's going to leave the Premier League table looking a little bit like this to the right of me here. We're going to have Liverpool 3rd on 88 points, City 2nd on 89 points, and Arsenal 1st on 89 points. I think there's going to be 1 point in it, and Arsenal are going to pit Man City with the goal difference of the Premier League title. They've currently got a 10 better goal difference in Arsenal than City. That could make a massive difference going into that final day and towards the end of the season. And I'm going to be honest, with a Premier League title race like that, as long as Liverpool don't win it, I'm going to be thoroughly entertained, and so should you lot, because 1 point being between 3 teams would be fucking insane. With all that being said, it's probably not going to happen. Arsenal and Liverpool will probably fall off a cliff, and City will win it by 10 points. But if that happens, that might be... You know what? It will be the greatest Premier League title race ever, because I've never seen in my lifetime, 3 teams battling it out that closely for a Premier League title to the final day of the season. That's going to be box office. The entertainment there, the ups and downs, the table change on the final day is going to be absolutely mental. And people watching this video who know I'm a Man United fan might go, Dill, it's no coincidence you predicted Arsenal to win the Premier League. And you know what? Maybe it's not, because it is. I'm still not going to be happy with Arsenal winning it. I'd much rather anyone else win it than them 3. But it is still the very much lesser of 3 evils. You've got a City 4-peat or a Liverpool other title equaling our 20th Premier League title on Klopp's final season. So I can't have that happen. There's going to be loads of twists and turns to come. Who really knows what's going to happen? But we've got Arsenal being Premier League champions. Let me know what you think of these predictions in the comments below. Let me know who you think is going to win the Premier League in the comments below. And come back for the next video in a couple of days when we're going to be predicting the relegation scrap in the Premier League. We've got Sheffield United, we've got Burnley, we've got Luton, we've got... Who else have we got? We've got Forest, we've got Crystal Palace, we've got Everton. We're going to predict that in the next video coming in a couple of days. If you've liked this video, drop a like, hit subscribe. We're going to bring more football content coming up towards the end of the Premier League season, which I'm excited for. And yeah, for the 4th time, you've been watching a Dill's Footy Ramble YouTube production, and I'll see you later. That was cringe.